What happened to funny commercials?
Hello? You're currently on the phone with Kacey K. Yep, that's me.
Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, February 10th, 5:49 a.m. I've been up since 4:30 a.m. and I actually woke up before my alarm. So, that's good. My sleep tracker thing said I slept at 65%, which I think is the lowest it's ever been. And it's not surprising because I ate probably about 50,000 calories yesterday. Well, I guess between yesterday and the day before. But you know what? You need that every now and then. You need just a good binge. We had crumble cookie, we had pizza, we had our version of homemade buffalo blasts. If you've never had those from Cheesecake Factory, they are delicious. What else did we have? I brought gummy worms, chips, just all kinds of stuff, and it was nice. But now it's back to our regularly scheduled programming, and back to my 1,700 calories a day and 10,000 steps a day, and going to the gym and lifting weights 3 times a week. So here we go. But yeah, obviously it was a Super Bowl yesterday, so the only reason I like it is to just pig out and eat, which I did. I had the crumble churro cake, which is probably one of my new favorite things from Crumble, even though it's like 900 calories per cake thing. They also had the lemon blueberry cheesecake thing, which I'm not a huge fan of cheesecake, which I know sounds crazy seeing as my favorite restaurant is the Cheesecake Factory. But like plain cheesecake is disgusting to me, but I like the flavored ones. So plus I love lemon. Anything lemon is just a-okay with me. But what else I have? The brownie cookies weren't very good. I didn't have the sea salt toffee one, but the chocolate Oreo one, oh, they were so good. I also made brownies yesterday, and they didn't turn out very good. I was the only one that ate any of them. I threw the rest of them away. But yeah, once I started making the brownies, and like the batter wasn't mixing well, and you could just tell something was off. I'm like, this is why I don't do this. Because I get so pissed off that nothing goes right. Cooking is like literally a science, and I failed science 2 or 3 times. So there's that. What else? The game wasn't very good. I mean, no game to me is very good. But it was just like very lackluster, and we actually left before the game was even over. And we got out to the car and it was like, oh, we're streaming the game from my phone. And there were still people inside watching, and I'm like, I text them, I'm like, so the game's gonna stop. Sorry. They're like, that's okay. I think we know who's gonna win this game. It was good. The commercials, they just keep getting worse every year. The only ones I remember that were funny last night it was a Nerd Wallet one, and it was this whale. Was it a beluga whale? Is that what they call them? And the only part that was funny is when the whale laughed. That one, and the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Which, why are we still pushing those? Nobody wants those. And it's the one with Kris Jenner. It's like all three Chris's: Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and Kris Jenner. And they're making fun of that banana that sold for like $6 million, and they're saying like Kris Jenner bought it and Chris Hemsworth ate it. Anyway, those are the only two commercials I remember being funny. The rest of them were like serious ones, and there's always that Jesus one now, and I don't know. I just remember when commercials used to be so funny. It feels like a lot of them were just put together last minute. And yeah, so it was probably one of the more boring Super Bowls, I would have to say, Kendrick Lamar did really well. Definitely wasn't my favorite halftime performance. I just, I just think that there should only be female performers because they just do so much better. They always have the better outfits, the better glam, the better backdrops, the better what am I trying to say? Visuals. They just do it better. I'm sorry to say, they just do. But it was good, and he sang "Not Like Us," which he won 4 Grammys for last week, and he actually called out Drake's name. So I don't know. It's getting pretty interesting. I'm trying to think. Me and my friend Catherine were talking about who would be next year. When I say that, I just mean I was telling her who I thought would be next year. I just have a feeling it's going to be Post Malone. I don't know why, but that's just who's coming to mind is Post Malone. And can you believe it's been 10 years since Katy Perry's? That is still, hands down, my favorite one. It always will be. And I'm not just being biased. It just was like the funnest. It was the most memorable. Lady Gaga's was good too. And I I love it. I go back and watch it often. Just the crowd singing with everybody, the fun props that she had. She brought out Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott. Like, I just remember it being so iconic. And I cannot believe it's been 10 years. It's going to send me into like a depression if I think about it too much because how could it be 10 years? And I think she didn't say it outright, but it was hinted that Taylor Swift wouldn't do the halftime show until all of her albums were re-recorded, which I think we're going to get both Reputation and Debut this year. I just have that kind of feeling, but I think Reputation needs its own year. That's just my opinion. And also she was partnered with Coca-Cola on these commercials and like advertisements and stuff. And back then it was the Pepsi halftime show. Now it's the Apple Music halftime show. So they didn't want to do that because obviously rivalry and whatever. But now that it's the Apple Music one, that's not really a problem. The problem is waiting for her to re-record all of her songs. But I mean, I don't know why it matters. She did the Eras Tour, and that drew in a lot more numbers than the Super Bowl. So, I don't know. Who knows? And she probably didn't want to do it with the Chiefs playing also, which I think would be iconic. But, I'm not a part of the the committee who plans that stuff. Anyway, speaking of Kendrick Lamar saying Drake's name, Drake has a new album coming out apparently. What is this? His like 75th album. This is Drake and Party Next Door. Never heard of that person or band or whatever they are. New album, Some Sexy Songs for You, is out on Valentine's Day, which is Friday, isn't it? Happy Valentine's Day. I have never ever celebrated Valentine's Day ever. I went last year with some friends. It was like a singles Valentine's dinner. It was one of those places where you have to cook yourself, which I hate. But it was actually pretty fun, and the food is good. I don't like going to places where I have to cook my food and they charge me the same price. Plus I don't like just like snacking, There's a time and place for that. Super Bowl, snacking. A dinner, no. I don't like having to cook my own food. I just don't. And if I'm going to have dinner, I want it to be all at once, right on a plate in front of me. I don't want, what are those like fancy dinners where they bring you out like 10 different, what do they call that? 10 courses, and they're all just like little tiny things. I'm like, no, sorry, I don't want this. It's probably healthier for you to eat that way, but anyway, yeah, happy Valentine's Day to all who celebrate. I don't, but there's that. There's also Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. She has a deluxe album coming out, and it's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new songs, and one of them is with Dolly Parton. It's Please, 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 but it's featuring Dolly Parton, so that'll be interesting. I wonder why. I just don't see that collab. Like, I can't picture it, But so there's that one. There's 15 minutes. There's couldn't make it any harder, Busy Woman, and Bad Reviews. So She announced it I think she announced it Monday. It was right after the Grammys, which is good because she just won Best Pop Vocal Album, wasn't it? I think it was. I could be wrong. I probably should double check, but yeah, so that's exciting. There's also, who else is releasing? Sam Smith has a new song they're releasing on Valentine's Day. It's called Love is Stillness, and it's supposedly kind of like their original songs they used to release. They're like love ballads, you know? So that's coming out on Valentine's Day. Also, Marina, they used to be Marina and the Diamonds. She has a new song called Butterflies coming out February 21st. And I just found out she's going to be at Coachella, which I love because she has two songs that she has quite a few, but two of them I really like. To Be Human is one of my favorite songs of all time. Also, Prima Donna, one of my favorite songs of all time, but I doubt she'll sing those. Also, who else has a new song out? Ava Max has a new song out called Lost Your Faith. It's pretty good. It's not her best work, but it's pretty good. There's a new Fantastic Four trailer for all of us to enjoy. It's giving like Incredibles vibes and the Jetsons vibes, which makes sense because it's set in like the 60s. But it says the storyline set against the vibrant backdrop of a 1960s inspired retro futuristic world. So it kind of reminds you of Tomorrowland at Disneyland. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm as they faced their most daunting challenge yet. Forced to balance their roles as humans with the strength of their family bond, they must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus. Ralph Ineson, I don't know who that is. And his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer, Julia Garner. Oh. Huh. I was not expecting to see her name. And if Galactus's plan to devour the entire planet and everyone on it weren't bad enough, it suddenly gets very personal. Interesting. I did not know. Oh, I thought it was someone else. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Julia, what is her name from How to Lose a Guy in... No. 10 Things I Hate About You. Isn't that her name too? 10 Things... Julia Stiles. Okay. I don't know why I got that mixed up. Julia Garner, she's the one that had that viral sound on TikTok. Isn't she from Ozark? Yes. She's like, if you want to... if you want to stop me, then you have to effing kill me. That sound. Oh, I love when sounds go viral on TikTok. It just makes me so happy. Denise Richards has a new series coming out called... I don't even know what it's called. But it's May 4th. It's Denise Richards and her like crazy life or something. It's a reality show on Bravo. Which is interesting because she didn't seem to like being on Housewives that much. And she broke the fourth wall when she's like, bravo, bravo, effing bravo. And everyone's like, what does that even mean? She's like, it means stop filming. Or something like that. We're like, okay. But yeah, apparently she has a new show coming out March 4th. I think you watch it on Peacock the next day. But yeah, so the Blake Lively, not the drama. I know you want me to talk about that, but it's just, I feel like everyone else talks about it so much that I don't really need to cover it that often. But the movie with her and Anna Kendrick, I talked about how nobody wanted to pick it up, but Amazon did. So technically, I mean, it's MGM, but Amazon owns MGM now. It is coming out May 1st. So it is premiering at South by Southwest, it says, which is that like film, what am I trying to say? Film conference, I guess that's what it is. It's kind of like, sorry, I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words so much. It's kind of like Sundance, but somewhere else. I honestly don't know where it's at. But I didn't know Allison Janney is going to be in it. She is one of my favorite people of all time. I love her. If you have not seen the TV show Mom, you have got to watch it. It is so... It's like lighthearted, but it also touches on some pretty serious topics every now and then. But her and Anna Faris in that show are hilarious. It is so, so good. You've got to watch it. But she's in it, so that makes me happy. Blake Lively, obviously, Anna Kendrick, Allison Janney, Henry Golding's back, Michael Maroney. Is he the one that they tried to set Khloe Kardashian up with when they were in Italy? I think it was. Who else? No one really that is super famous, but the premise is they're going to, it says, follows Stephanie Smothers and Emily Nelson as they head to the beautiful island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding to a rich Italian businessman. I just have a hard time believing, if you've seen the first one, I have a hard time believing those three still staying in touch with one another. So it'll be interesting to see how it comes together, of why they're hanging out again. And I can't tell if it's going to be in theaters. It just says Prime, so I doubt it, which, that kind of sucks. I think they should go to theaters, but they probably don't want to have to risk doing all this publicity. It is currently trending at 441 popularity out of 3,300 different titles. Anyway, it kind of makes me want to watch the original again. It's really good. I can't remember if I read the book or not. I have a feeling I read the book before, but then again, I have a feeling I did not, so I guess we'll never know. The Amazing Race starts on March 5th on CBS and Paramount. I don't know if you can watch it on the same day or if it's like Peacock where you have to watch it the next day. But there's a couple, I guess. My cousins were talking about it because they have a podcast, The Amazing Rewatch, where they are going through each season of The Amazing Race and like doing a episode recap each episode. But they were saying there's a couple from Salt Lake City on this new season, so that's pretty exciting. We also, you guys, got a new Jurassic World trailer, Jurassic World Rebirth, and it is currently number 2 on trending. Crazy. It's got Jonathan Bailey and Scarlett Johansson. I did a little TikTok and Instagram, kind of like a mini recap videos of what happened during this week. So if you want to go follow me on my Instagram and TikTok pages, you can see all these. But I talked about this on that video. And let's see, the storyline is 5 years post Jurassic World Dominion, an expedition braves isolated equatorial regions. I don't know. I think I said that right. Regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. So yeah, they basically have to go to this island that's abandoned, and it's like the birthplace of the original Jurassic Park. What am I trying to say? Like where they started doing the research, and the scariest and biggest and most frightening of the dinosaurs stayed there because they didn't dare take them to Isla Nublar, where the park started. Anyway, that comes out July 2nd, and it looks really good. And Scarlett Johansson is like the explorer, the one who is taking Jonathan Bailey, who's the researcher and scientist or whatever. She's guiding him through all this treacherous terrain. So the roles have reversed, which I really like. Billie Eilish has a new fragrance out, and it is not cheap. It is $90, which I guess a fragrance now is so expensive, you guys. Like the most expensive used to be like $100, and now like Gucci and what's the other one that was super expensive? My gosh, what was it? Anyways, those higher end ones, they're like $150 now. Chanel. It's Chanel. It was $150. And I'm like, these used to be somewhat affordable. So she has a new one. It kind of looks like dominoes stacked on top of each other. I think that's the vibe they're going for. I don't know. I mean, I guess it says the name of the fragrance is called Your Turn. So I guess it's kind of like rolling the dice of life. Is that what it means? The keynotes are fresh ginger, velvet peach skin, and sandalwood Australia. You can buy, I don't think it's in Ulta. That's usually where she sells her fragrances. But You can buy it on her website for $90. Uh, I have the gold fragrance of hers and the silver one. There's also a red one, and that sold out very quickly, and it is still currently sold out. And I'm very upset because I'm like, well, now I need all three of them. Noah Beck just confirmed to us in a kind of cheesy marketing ad that his movie, I don't even know what it's called, The Quarterback Sideline, The Quarterback and Me, or whatever, is getting a sequel. And it is on Tubi, which is where we watch the Super Bowl. I feel like every year we have a hard time finding how to watch the Super Bowl. But this year we watched it on Tubi, and it was completely free. And I'm just so curious how much they paid to have that happen. And how they're making money. If Tubi's free. I have so many questions. Do you guys remember that? What was that? It was like a short video, wasn't like, it was like mini series, mini episodes, and they advertised for it so hard, and then like 6 months later it went bankrupt. Hang on, let me find it. Okay, I was right. It was called Quibi. It says Quibi was a short-form video streaming service that launched in April 2020. It was created by Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman and was intended to be a mobile-first alternative to HBO. Quibi was designed to promote or provide quick 10-minute videos for people who were short on time. However, the service failed to attract subscribers and shut down in December 2020. So a little bit longer than 6 months, but it did not last long. But I seriously remember so many celebrities were promoting it, and like had short, I don't even know what to call them, short, what am I trying to say, TV shows, stuff like that on there. But I'm like, I don't want that. Like, I want my TikTok video short, but I want my TV long, and I want 25 episodes of each each season. But yeah, it did not do well. It says why it failed. Quibi's failure was attributed to a number of factors, including COVID-19 pandemic and the fact that consumers weren't sure what the service was. Katzenberg and Whitman changed the service's marketing and app, but it wasn't enough to make it successful. What happened after Quibi sold its content library to Roku for less than $100 million? That sounds like a lot of money. They're acting like that's not a substantial amount of money. I thought I was gonna say $100, honestly. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you like what shows were on there. Yeah, it says Quibi was an American short-form streaming platform that generated content for viewing on mobile devices. It was founded in Los Angeles in August 2018 as New TV by Jeffrey Katzenberg and was led by Meg Whitman as CEO. The service raised $1.75 billion from investors. Ooh. Okay, so that makes $100 million sound a lot less appealing. That is, oof. Could you imagine losing that much money from other people? That is a lot of money. You think during the pandemic it would have done well, but I guess during then, like, people needed long form content because what else were they gonna do? There is a new Smurfs movie coming out, and I covered this as well on my TikTok page, but I heard it from Rihanna first. Comes out July 18th, and supposedly I think Rihanna's gonna have a song on it, but it's got a lot of famous people, and I'm just really upset they didn't bring Katy Perry back. Katy Perry was like in the original, well, not the original, but the remake, like in 2011. I remember that. It seemed like just yesterday that they were promoting all those. Now we're on to a new era. Anyway, Hannah Waddingham, Natasha Lyonne, Dan Levy, Kurt Russell, John Goodman, Nick Offerman, Sandra Oh, Amy Sedaris. I can't say his name, but he's the kid from is it Karate Kid? Cobra Kai. He's like the main character kid. Billy Lord, Octavia Spencer, Nick Kroll, James Corden, Rihanna as Smurfette, and those are all the most famous people. But do you want to know the storyline? When Papa Smurf, John Goodman, is mysteriously taken by evil wizards, Razamel and Gargamel, I just still remember the the Smurfs called in the Katy Perry version. They're like garbage smell. He's like, it's Gargamel. Smurfette Rihanna leads the Smurfs on a mission into a real world to save him. With the help of new friends, and the Smurfs must discover what defines their destiny to save the universe. There you go. That'll be a good summer movie for the kids, and a lot of famous people. I'm very curious how much that cost to make. I was also curious how much the Sing franchise cost to make, and it was a lot less than I thought. I'm like, wow, you celebrities are not demanding as much money as I thought you were. Kelly Clarkson has a residency coming to Las Vegas, but it's not like she's not gonna sing. I don't think so. It's her show. It says Kelly Clarkson Studio Sessions. The Las Vegas residency will kick off Friday, July 4th, with 18 performances scheduled through November 15th. Well, maybe she's gonna sing. It says the new residency follows Kelly's sold-out exclusive Las Vegas engagement at Planet Hollywood Resorts and Casino in 2023. I'm so excited to be back in Vegas, said Kelly. We're bringing the studio to the stage this time with studio sessions. See y'all there. So I honestly can't tell what it's going to be about. She must be singing and doing a show, which would be kind of fun. Everyone, so she does karaoke as part of her TV show, and literally every song she covers, she does so well. She just truly does it so well. And even the artists from the songs that they, it's the different artist songs she covers, they comment on the videos and they're like, well, like Katy Perry, she did Wide Awake, and Katy Perry's like, well, I can't ever sing that song again, just because she does so well at covering all these songs, and everyone wants her to do an album of just covered songs, and I agree. Her song, she covered Happier Than Ever from Billie Eilish. Oh, it was right after her divorce, and she references subtle shade to her ex-husband. It's so good. Anyway, it's July 4th through the 20th. Well, I shouldn't say that. It goes from July, August, and November. She has dates, and it's at Caesar's Palace, the Coliseum. Pre-sale tickets have already gone on sale, and regular sale tickets will go this Thursday, the 13th. So there you go. You got to have a City card, apparently. City card members will have access to pre-sale. Oh, well, I guess you don't have to have one unless you want to do it now. Let's see. So I've talked about the Kylie Jenner lip butter, which, you guys, I'm telling you, it's really good. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased and love the Kardashians. It's really good. It's super good. But she just launched a new flavor. I don't know whether to call it flavor or fragrance or taste. I don't know. It sounds like I eat it when I say flavor. I want to eat it because it smells so good. But it's called Toasted Marshmallow, and I'm very excited to have some. You can buy both of them on her website, KylieCosmetics.com, for a discount. Otherwise, they're just $20 each, which sounds like that's a lot, but I still have my original one that I bought 2 months ago now. Granted, I don't use it that often, but it lasts quite a while, and it really does make your lips soft, and it smells good. Speaking of the Kardashians, they just released their newest episode last Thursday, and it's good. It's really good. They are getting better music. That's the one thing that bugs me about this new show, is their music is so cheesy. But the first song that they played on this was APT by Rosie and Bruno Mars. So I'm like, oh, you got some funding. I see. But mostly this episode was about Chloe and Lamar meeting up for the first time in 8 or 9 years, which, judging from the commercials, I thought this was going to be towards the end, so they would get, keep people intrigued and want to see this reunion, but it was the very first episode. it did say to be continued at the end, and so like they're going to continue the conversation, because the first part of the conversation, like Chloe has no emotion, and I'm not saying that like in a bad way. Like she's totally completely moved on, you can tell, and she has come out stronger on the other side of all this, and you can just tell that she's gone through all the work she needed to get over it. But Lamar was like a nervous wreck. He was like sweating profusely, and like he couldn't look her in the eyes, and he was like mumbling his words. And she's like, "Well, I can't hear you. You're talking so quiet." But apparently she had a storage unit full of all of his stuff. And after he got better, she's like, "Hey, I have this storage unit. Do you want the key to it?" Like, what? He's like, "Just give it to my friend and they'll give it to me." And his friend sold everything in the storage unit. All like his trophies, his awards he's won from being, the basketball player, all of his furniture. Like, I'm like, that is awful. That is horrible. But Chloe managed to keep a few things. She had his mom's wallet with her driver's license in it, and some kind of trophy that is pretty, not sacred, but rare, I guess you could say. She mentioned something about how it was the only one that a Lakers player had won. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, she had that, and she had one other thing also. But like the conversation was going pretty smoothly, and she was like, there was no yelling or confrontation or anything like that. But showing the next clip for the next episode coming out this week is when Chloe starts to get a little heated. She's like, "A lie hurts once. No, the truth hurts once. A lie hurts over and over and over again." And yeah, I mean, you can't blame her. She does have pretty knowledgeable and great quotes and stuff that she says. She's pretty in her feels like that, and I'm like, you know what? That is like, I always make fun of when she's like, "I need to let go and let God." I say that for like little stupid things, like I just need to let go and let God. But yeah, I filled up the bathtub, and I had my candles lit, and I bought a little tray that goes over the bathtub so I can set like a drink or my laptop or something on it, and I put my Palmer's coconut oil in there. You put like a cap or two capfuls of that in your bath water, and you come out and your skin, you guys, is like buttery soft. It is so soft. I can't even explain it to you. But yeah, so there we go. What else? SNL has a special reunion episode coming out on Sunday because of the 50th anniversary. It's February 16th, which is one of my best friend Angelina's birthdays that day. And it's gonna have a lot of guests on it. It says live from New York. It's SNL 50th anniversary special, and the much anticipated show is set to air next weekend, but not on Saturday night. I guess they're gonna air. I guess I can just tell you. The live 3-hour special comedy show will air February 16th, one day after the late night comedy show's first 1975 episode is slated to re-air on NBC. That'll be interesting to see the first episode. I feel like they had a hard time getting viewers at first, and now they're slowly they slowly started to get better and just, kind of adapt. But it says the special will feature appearances by Adam Driver, Ayo Edebiri, Bad Bunny, Dave Chappelle, John Mulaney, Kim Kardashian, Martin Short, Miley Cyrus, Paul McCartney, Paul Simon, Pedro Pascal, Peyton Manning, Quentin Brunson, Robert De Niro. That's a lot of P names. Sabrina Carpenter, Scarlett Johansson, Steve Martin, Tom Hanks, and Woody Harrelson. I'm surprised Scarlett Johansson would come back after the weekend update joke that they did. It says additional names will be announced at a later date. Well, we're getting close to that later date. It says how to watch SNL 50th anniversary special. The SNL telecast from Studio 8H in Rockefeller Center is set for Sunday, February 16th at 8 p.m. and can be watched on NBC and Peacock. That is one good thing. Like, they'll let you watch SNL as it's live. You don't have to wait till the next day like it used to be, which I'm finally glad they're getting on board, because my family and I were talking yesterday about the insane prices of streaming services. Like, I just canceled my Netflix. It was $22 a month. And I'm like, no, no, sorry. I just started using my mom's again. Because when they moved out, I would still use their account, but then they did that password sharing thing, and it's like, oh, she doesn't live there anymore. I'm like, but it's still her house. Like, how do you do that? Anyway, I found a TikTok, because I learn everything from TikTok now. If you go to that person's house at least once a month and sign into their Netflix on their Wi-Fi, you can use it on your phone and just like stream it to your TV. So that is what I did, because I was paying like $22 a month for that. HBO is 20 something dollars a month. I just canceled Disney Plus. That was $17 or $18 a month. I'm just like, this is getting out of hand. I can't. And I honestly should have canceled HBO. I don't watch it, but I think the people that use my account watch it quite a bit. But now White Lotus is coming back, so I can't really cancel it now. I don't know. Anyway, I hope White Lotus is really good. I'm very excited for it, but I'm very nervous as well. I just want Jennifer Coolidge to come back. Honestly, I really do. What is next? Do you guys see Ryan Reynolds' fake publicity stunt? They they staged, I guess allegedly, I should say allegedly, they staged. Also, before I do that, did you see they're having people's videos taken down on Instagram and TikTok? Remember that Be Better guy that I was telling you about, how he has all those videos like the downfall of this, the downfall of that? Well, apparently he's had a redemption arc, because he's still making videos, and he did like a whole apology tour type thing. But now he's on to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. He's covering that quite a bit. And he does have very valid points, I will say that. But he did a video, and it wasn't even like necessarily bashing them or anything, but the video was taken down. And he actually got a hold of TikTok, or he did a video, and he's like, TikTok, this is infringing on my freedom of speech, and if you do not put my video back, I will be pressing charges. And I think they put the video back up, but people are saying on Instagram their videos were being taken down. They're also saying that they are all of a sudden just following Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. It's getting so bizarre, honestly. So when I saw it was the trailer, not trailer, it was the first advertisement, just the poster for Another Simple Favor, the movie I was just talking about earlier. Blake Lively's picture was at the top of my Instagram, and like when it says someone has a story available, and I'm like, I was like, I wonder what this is going to be about. I wonder if it's going to be her talking about the lawsuit or something. And it was promoting the movie. I was like, wow, I was not expecting that. That's crazy. Anyway, back to what I was saying originally. Ryan Reynolds staged allegedly this this paparazzi fan event thing. He like walked out of a hotel and was getting into a car, and then there were all these people around him signing stuff, or wanting him to sign stuff. And people looked closer at it, and it was only like 15 fans and a few paparazzi. The fans all had the same exact Deadpool poster, and apparently they kept saying something about blue tape. I don't know what that means, but I guess there might have been blue tape on the poster for him to sign. That doesn't make sense, because then you could just take the tape off. I don't understand. They all had the same poster, they all had the same marker, and none of them had their phones out. And everyone's like, you don't think that people would have their phones out, like taking pictures and stuff? And I don't know. It was like, apparently that's what they used to do in like back in the day, like the early 2000s, to try and get their image back up. But people are catching on. We're not dumb anymore. We understand what's going on. Josh Allen has won MVP, the NFL MVP of the year, which he was kind of surprised about, but apparently it was in his contract that if he wins this, he gets an additional $1.5 million. I'm like, wow, that's really good. The only reason I'm talking about Josh Allen in football is because he's engaged to Haley Steinfeld, who I love. I love Haley Steinfeld. I have a feeling, or I just have a hope, that she comes out and releases, she just kind of was like on top of her game there for a minute, releasing these singles like Starving. Is that what it's called? Starving and Capital Letters. And what else? She had a few more, and it was just like, we need those back. We need you to come back. I also want her in movies again. Anyway, that's the only reason I'm talking about this. I also was asked to talk more about football, and I will try. I don't know how well that'll go. The only reason I talk about them is when they're attractive or when they're dating famous women. So start telling them to date more famous women, and we will go from there. But apparently he was surprised that he won because Lamar Jackson won. Let's see, he won All-Pro quarterback. It says Jackson got 30 of the 50 first place votes in the All-Pro voting, while Allen only got 18, which is important to note here because the All-Pro quarterback almost always ends up winning MVP. In any season where a quarterback won MVP over the past 50 years, there were only 2 instances where the first team All-Pro quarterback didn't win MVP, and both came under peculiar circumstances. I felt like I just kind of blacked out while I was reading a lot of terms I didn't know. But apparently, it was like a surprising turn of events. It's only the 3rd time it's happened in 50 years or something. Haley looked really good. She had this kind of strapless gown. It kind of looks like it would be Schiaparelli dress, and this really pretty diamond necklace. Really, really pretty. But they look cute together. I'm happy for them. Maybe I'll send out an invitation for them to invite me to their wedding. I'll still never get over my friend Isabel. She sent out wedding invitations to like a few famous people, and one of them was Julie Andrews, and she wrote her back this like handwritten note, and she's like, sorry I couldn't make it, but congratulations on your wedding. I'm like, that is like, you need to frame that. That is like treasure. Let's see what else do I have on here. Post Malone has a Nirvana album coming out. Apparently it's already been done. It's his tribute album. I guess during, was it COVID? Or maybe it was right before COVID. He did a live concert session covering Nirvana's, some of their songs. But he's now releasing a vinyl for it. It looks really cool. It looks like it's supposed to be fabric, like upholstered. It almost looks like a cross-stitching thing, but I really hope it's an actual, like, the fabric. That would be really cool. Kind of expensive, but, different. And anyway, it comes on sale, I think, April 12th in record stores. It's like National Record Store Day or something. I just listened to that back, and it sounded like I said National Records Door Day. I meant National Record Store Day. But yeah, there you go. If you're into Nirvana, if you're into, I guess there's a quote on, maybe it's just an advertisement, but Courtney Love said, "Good luck, Mr. Malone," or something. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a dig or if she was actually wishing him good luck, because obviously her and Kurt Cobain were a thing and he was in Nirvana. Also, I think I've already told you this, but Katy Perry has a song called Nirvana on her new album, and I'm like, what does that mean? I've always thought it meant hell, but it literally means heaven. My whole life I thought it meant hell, and I googled and found out it is in fact not hell. It's the exact opposite. There is some sad news I have to report on. Kris Jenner is selling the iconic Kardashian house, and it makes me very, very, very sad. Although I never stepped foot in that house, it is near and dear to my heart because it was part of the Kardashian show for over 10 years. And the iconic black and white checkered tile floor as you walk in. I do think they did some renovations because it... I don't remember the kitchen looking like that, honestly. And people were like, oh my gosh, that interior design is awful, and I do have to agree it's not very good. They took out all their furniture, obviously. You can choose to buy the house fully furnished for additional $400,000. Um, yeah, this must be a Australian website I'm on though, because it says Kris Jenner has put her iconic California mansion on the market for 13.5 million US dollars, and then in parentheses it says 21.5 million A dollars. I'm guessing that means Australia. In the little URL thing it says realestate.com.au. That means Australia, right? Anyway, but it says they bought it in 2010 for $4 million. So they're making a pretty penny on it. She said, though, I don't know if it was a commercial for this season or if it was last season, but she says, oh, where is it? I just had it. She's like, here's the thing. I have a condo. My mom has one. She said, it says mum, so I do think this is Australia. Has one. My cousin has one, and we all live nearby. I kind of forgot it was there, Kris admitted during an episode of the family's Hulu spin-off The Kardashians. That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Yes, it does, because it's just a staple. I wish they would turn it into a museum. I know that's not possible for many reasons, one of them being it's in like a double gated community, and I know like people in that community would not want strangers just want peasants driving up to the house and touring it. But I would do it. I would go if they had a tour there. It's kind of sad. Their new houses are really, really nice and very different from this one, but I think my favorite of all their houses is Kourtney's. Hers just seems so like big and spacious, but yet cozy at the same time. I don't know. Ever since she moved into that house, I'm like, I love that house. I would live there. And like, I love how the kitchen is separated from the rest of the house. I'm just, I feel like over the last, I don't know, 15-ish years, open concept has been a huge thing. And I am so ready to go back to not that. I think like entertaining areas are good to have, big open spaces, but I want a kitchen on its own. I want a kitchen with maybe like a little nook for a small sitting area with a TV. But I'm tired of these houses that have like all one big open area with the kitchen. And I can say that because my house has that. But yeah, I just want like a actual room that's just the kitchen, and a dining room. Please bring back dining rooms, please. Where do the dining rooms go? What else do I want? A den, let's bring back a den. I want hallways again, just like old architecture. Let's bring it back, please. Anyway, what's next? Apparently, I feel like I've reported on this so many times, but Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are definitely broken up this time, and she is having his baby. Yeah, so that sucks. KitchenAid has released the color of the year, and their color of the year is butter. So you can guess what color that's going to be. It's like a yellow. It's like a buttery yellow. Who would have thought? It actually looks really cool. I used my KitchenAid yesterday for the first time in a year and a half, I think. So that was fun. I just love the look of them. I love to have them sitting in the kitchen. And there's just something classic about having a KitchenAid out. And I love it. That's like one of the main reasons I wanted one. I do want to learn how to bake something. I want to learn how to bake like a classic lemon dessert type thing. I want to learn how to make chicken piccata, and because that has lemon in it, and like a lemon dessert. And I want to be like known for that. Like, oh, Kacey's gonna bring his lemon meringue pie or his lemon bars or a lemon. Anyway, Kenny Chesney is going to be in Vegas, you guys, all you country fans. I don't know, does he even like release music anymore? This time though, he'll be at the Sphere. I say this time like I think he's been there before. I don't know if he's been to Vegas and done residency. But it starts May 22nd and it goes until June 21st, the first day of summer. And tickets are actually not as bad as I thought. So this is bringing me hope. I also did a TikTok video about I was sitting there thinking because Beyonce announced her tour and it's only like 20 something stops, 22 stops, multiple shows at each stop, but still artists are doing this now and it's very unfortunate because people are broke and that means we have to travel to go see people now, and which is fun. I think it's very, very fun to plan a vacation around a concert, but it adds up very quickly. And a lot of people were like in the video that I did, they were saying, I really wish she'd come like to the south. Like I don't think she's going to Florida at all, and she's not going to like Louisiana or like I think she goes to Atlanta, but that's as far south as she goes. I just really think it's weird she's not doing Miami. She's got to announce more tours. This can't be. But all of those stops had a date except for Las Vegas. And I kept thinking, I'm like, why would that be? And then I was like, well, maybe she wants to go to the Sphere because she wanted to last year, and I read an article and it said Beyonce trying to come up with the show at the Sphere, but it kind of fizzled out because she would have had to shut down the Sphere for 2 weeks to perform and rehearse, and they didn't want to do that. And I think that's so interesting. I'm like, you guys would have made so much money if you would have done that, but whatever. So I think she's going to do a mini residency, kind of like this, at the Sphere. And that would be iconic, honestly. Can you imagine Beyonce's visuals in the Sphere? I can't even begin to comprehend the euphoria I will feel when I go see that. But tickets, at least for this one, are not as expensive as I thought. It starts at like $212. I don't think there's a bad seat in the house, you guys. Honestly, I think most of them are very good. I mean, obviously there are some better than others, but it says there's a general admission area down at the front. So I don't know. I didn't even know they had room for that, but it goes up to like $336. I want to say $326. So yeah, if you want to go see Kenny Chesney. I was going to say Jesse McCartney. I do not know why. Starts Thursday, May 22nd at 8 p.m. The only thing that sucks about, well, I guess I shouldn't say the only thing. I've never been there, but parking for the Sphere, awful. We got caught in traffic one night because we wanted to drive by and see what the Sphere looked like. They were advertising something on it. Who was it? It was someone we really liked. And we're like, let's drive by the Sphere and try and get a video. But we got caught in the traffic of everyone leaving the Sphere. And that was awful. That was miserable. Very, very miserable. Yeah, I think that's it, you guys. I think that's all I have for you. I feel like... Oh, wait, no. There's literally this giant... this giant paragraph I have to read in pink font. I don't know how I missed that. I literally will be going through my notes and I'm like, I didn't even talk about that. How did I miss that? Anyway, Chappell Roan during her Grammys acceptance speech said like, I think it should be required by record labels to provide better pay, better living wages, and healthcare for new artists. She's like, I was never offered anything like that, and it would have helped a lot in my career if that would have happened, but it's not something that was offered. And apparently a record executive did not like that because, let's see, what's his name? Jeff Rabin called Roan wildly misinformed in an op-ed for the Hollywood Reporter, causing Roan to respond by donating $25,000 towards healthcare for struggling artists while challenging him to match it. She said, Mr. Rabin, I love how in the article you said, put your money where your mouth is, Roan wrote. Let's link and build together and see if you can do the same. Um, it says Charlie XCX and Noah Khan joined Chapel Roan in making the significant donations to help support artists struggling with healthcare expenses. During Roan's Best New Artist acceptance speech at the 2025 Grammys, she called out the lack of healthcare coverage for artists dropped by record labels. If my label would have prioritized artists' health, I could have been provided care by a company I was giving everything to. Um, then it says Charlie and Khan also pledged to match Roan's $25,000 contribution. Charlie said, "Your speech at the Grammys was inspiring and thoughtful and from a genuine place of care. Happy to help get the ball rolling too." So there you go. I love when rich people do great things like that, especially these two. They've had a very, very successful year, very good year. I do think, though, like I was thinking about it this morning actually with Olivia Rodrigo. Like back in like 2000, early 2000s and like 2010s, the very beginning of 2010s before streaming kind of took over, they were making so much money. Like it was a much more lucrative time to be in the music industry. And now it's a lot tougher because you have to get a certain amount of streams to make a dollar, you know? I think you have to get like 10 streams to make a dollar. I think that's correct. I could be wrong. But it just used to be more lucrative. And that's why a lot of people push touring now. And the tickets are so expensive, is because that's how they make most of their money now. Which is unfortunate for us, but there you go. Anyway, now I'm done. That was it. That was all. Please go follow me on my TikTok pages, my personal one, and I'm on the phone with Kacey K. My Instagram page is my personal one, Kacey_K, and I'm on the phone with Kacey K. The Patreon is up and live, 2 episodes more a month. I'm about to record the newest episode sometime this week, I think. And yeah, that would help me a lot. And what else? What else do I want to talk about? I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be an exciting year. Hopefully. Last time I said that, COVID happened. I remember I wrote it in a journal. I go back and forth. I'm like, I'm gonna start journaling, and I do it for like a day or two. And I was like, I just feel like 2020 is gonna be my year. It's gonna be a great year. It was not. It was not a great couple of years. So anyway, I say that with cautiousness. This can be a good year, but you know, just make it as good as you can. Just have a positive outlook on life. I know it's very hard, especially right now, but we all got this. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next week.